Well, a very good evening, everybody, and welcome to Delta 2 Racing. It's Thursday night, so it's time for Division 3. We're here this week from Austria, so round number 3. Last week's winner was Hammers. Let's have a quick look at the table. I did pop it up just before, but we'll have a quick look while we're waiting for people to go out. So Pac-Man leading the way, would have been a bit further ahead, but picking up a penalty last week, so taking him from third on the podium down into fourth. Hammers currently in second place, but 25 points, picking them up from last week's win at where were we last week? Brazil. And Bog in third place, so the Alfa Romeo is doing really well. Bog pretty consistent this season, picking up a 5th place last time out, so putting him into third. Then we've got ASC Hummer, who did really well last week, so getting second place. Then we've got Man Like Donkey in 6th, Betty Buno in 7th, 8th Havoc Connor, 9th Ralph Albers, and Tom Putty rounding out the top 10. Then we've got Bob Spun, Skipper Scully, Pav, Brother Adam, Double, and Martin Kosler, the rest of the point scorers. So right, let's jump on. Who is the first out? I think who's the first one out? I need to just catch up on my logos. Sorry, just still getting me head together here. So it's Alfa Romeo, I think. It's not right. Okay, so just been overtaken by what looks like a Williams. Is that Scully? No, it must be the other Williams. Or is it an Alpine? I've completely lost who's where. So right, let's stay on board with Double for a minute whilst I figure out who's in what position here. So on the outlet, we've got Hammers. Stick with Hammers, I'm not sure who that is in front of him in the Alpine, just losing the back end ever so slightly there. Around turn number 3. So Hammer is now coming towards the end of sector 2. As I certainly use Austria, one of those tracks where if you keep your penalties down, just keep yourself out of trouble, you can really score big points here. So I think there's a few drivers in this grid that fit that bill, so I'm expecting some good results from them. I'm not going to name names or anything because I do have a habit of putting the kibosh on people. So anyway, let's have a look. Hammers crosses the line. Pav was in front, so 105.4 from Hammers. Immediately overtaken by Pat now 105.3, so just a 10th in it there. Laps going in second. Fast Man Like Donkey now at 105.3, so Ferrari front row lockout at the moment, but Bob Spun having something to say about that, and Hummer as well. As a Hummer showing great pace on his, I'm not sure if it was his debut last week, certainly the first time I've seen him. But raced really well, and I think it was just Hammers was just slightly in a class of his own last week. Okay, who have we got? So Chef in the gravel there. Got Bog coming round the final corner and puts in a 105.6 up into 7th place. So I think a conservative lap there by Bog. Not one of his favourite tracks, I don't think, but he's and so he does have a habit of keeping it clean if he can keep himself out of trouble. I think there could be some good points on the table for him there. Okay, who is going to be next? He hasn't set a time yet. Skipper just starting. There's Composite, he's not far behind. Chef JB we saw in the gravel a moment ago. Let's catch up with the lead cars here. And Composite and Skipper, I'm not sure if they're doing a tow or are just in that position. We'll keep an eye, see if Composite in front is going to just give him a tow. And I'm not sure which will be best, whether it's I think along here, and then if you can keep the tow going up to turn 3 and then move out the way, that would really help. Okay, that's an invalidation there from Skipper. Okay, Tom Putty coming into the pits. Who else do we have? Anybody on a lap? Scully No, he's not on a lap, not with that ERS. Certainly not going to get far. Chef also. So Composite is on an out lap. I think Benny is as well, just a bit further around, and Purple in sector 2. So Benny taking pole position last week. You're looking for back-to-back if you can. Stay on board going around the final 2 corners. Takes that well, carries good speed onto the start-finish line. We'll see what time, the 105.1. So pops him up into 3rd place, a couple of tenths down on Hummer, but certainly up there, just ever so slightly behind Bob. Okay, who is next? I think it's that Composite coming across now. Pops himself up into 11th place with a 105.614. So I think that pretty much completes the first round of runs. We'll have everybody going in and changing their tyres ready to come out for the second run. Some might just do the 2 runs, save a set of softs for the race. Not quite sure on the weather at the moment as to what we're going to have. Let's see if I have any. No, I don't think I have any information as of yet. Let's scroll down a bit more. No, so right, we will wait and find out, see if someone lets us know. If not, we'll find out ever so shortly. We seem to have been blessed with good weather in Austria for DTR this week. I don't think we've had a wet session at all. Might be completely wrong with that, but don't remember. I think rain was threatened, but I'm not sure if it actually fell. I certainly don't remember wet tyres, but so my memory is pretty bad. Okay, so Composite will come into the pit kitchen now on his outlap. Who's in front of him? Looks like a red ball. It could be Bob. Oh, looks like we've got an issue up here. We've got man like Donkey, don't reverse. He's actually done quite well getting back on track there and avoiding that, because that is not an easy corner. But so that has put the kibosh on man like Donkey's first run now. I'm not sure if there was contact. There'll be a couple of cars involved. But we'll go back to that. Okay, so Hammer's on an outlap now. Pac-Man, let's see who's the furthest round. I know I'm going to miss him. I think it's Bob. Bob's going to be the first. He's slight improvement on his time. Could be enough to slash pole, and it is indeed by 2 tenths. So 104.7 there by Bob. We then have the Ferrari of Pac-Man, 104.7 as well. But just slower than Bob though, so Bob hanging on to pole position as we stand. Alright, who else is out? Let's see how Hammers is getting on. Coming towards the end of sector 2, and he's invalidated. Okay, who is the next furthest? It looks like a Ferrari, or is Bog maybe now getting a bit of toe off of Hammers in the final part of the lap here. Oh, he's actually onto his outlap now, so this could be really good for Bob, getting a nice toe from Hammers. Let's see how the boys do it. Good turn 1 there from Bob, taking just enough of the corner, but not too much. Heading up towards turn number 3 now. Turn number 2 really. Turn number 2 is just a bend really. Onto the power early, looking at getting that DRS open. I think Hammers might drop out of the way to the right. Downhill though, he's a bit further ahead. So are they both on a lap? Let's have a look at Hammers and RS. I think they're both on a lap. So Hammers perhaps aborting that first show, so we'll just stick with the Alfa Romeos here. Let's say leading the championship currently, 2nd and 3rd in the championship with the drivers. very close on track, so it'll be interesting to see what times they can put over. Hammers is going to be first. We'll see what time he puts at 105.2, and Bog improves to 105.5. Slight improvement on time, up a couple of places. Okay, who is next? Let's have a look. Is it Havoc coming into the pits? Looks like he's aborting that run. We have a Red Bull, which I think is Rika. So 105.051, popping himself into 4th place there. So Connor into the pits, just trying to catch everybody. Skipper just starting his lap, so hopefully it'll go a bit better for him and composite than it did on the last lap. So who's in the Mercedes? Is that Tom? He's coming into the pits as well. So I'm catching everyone as they're coming into the pits. I'm doing quite well at that. Then next we have the Alphas, who are going to be pitting. Scully, don't think he's on a lap. No, I think he's just about to start another lap, so we'll keep an eye on Scully, see how he does. Pavlosidor coming into the final sector now. We'll jump on board with him, see how he takes the final couple of turns. He's invalidated, so we'll move off of that one. So Benny on an outlap, composite and double on an outlap. Who's going to be the first? It's going to be double if my eyes are working at all, which they're not. There we go, Benny. So jump all the way up to Benny. Excuse my jumping here, but right, let's stick on board with Benny. Let's say last week's pole position. Havoc out of the session. Is that a... I think he's had enough, so he's... giving up in the pits, getting himself ready for the race. As they're currently in 9th, we'll see what his finishing position is going to be. But Benny now into Sector 2. I missed his time at the end of Sector 1, but it's soon coming up to the end of Sector 2, so we'll see if he is up. Two tenths, he needs more than that for pole position. What is he, 4 tenths behind, so he needs to find at least another 2-3 tenths in this final sector, and that's just to put him on provisional. Obviously we are expecting the likes of Bolzbun, Pac-Man to be able to improve slightly, so let's see. 104.8 pops him into 3rd position. Who do we have on lap? So composite, I think, is coming towards the end of his run here. He keeps it clean. He's slow though, 4.2 seconds down, so I think he's going again. I'll catch where everybody is. We've then got an Alpine, is that Pav? Yep, just starting his lap. Then we have a Williams or double. Again, just starting his lap. So let's jump on who is actually a full lap. I want to jump on with Hummer because he did so well last week. So literally gave hammers. It was Hummers and hammers pretty much for the majority of the race. So I'm hoping for another good race today. We had a cracking race yesterday with Reliot taking the win in Austria. So his first D2 win, and a great driving. Congratulations. There was some good racing, some not so good racing. It's just typical of a circuit like Austria where it's so small, and where a lot of the corners are flowing, there's not very many places to make the move out braking. Obviously up in the turn 3 is one of the driver's favourites. Okay, who do we have coming across the line? That was the Haas of somebody, Chef, putting in a 105.622. So Hammers on his outlap now. Bog a little bit further ahead. So it looks like there's still... I wonder if Bog's going to return the favour on the toe here. see if we can give them some slipstream. So we'll jump back to them in a minute. See who the furthest round is. Is it Tom? Yeah, Tom putting in a purple sector 2 there, so we can see if he could improve. Well, he should improve on his 105.5, but how far is he going to get himself up the grid? Good evening to Connor as well in the chat. Recovery, yeah, not going too badly, thank you. Getting there day by day. So hope to be back racing soon, but it's still a bit uncomfortable at the moment. But yeah, certainly good to be back on comms anyway. Obviously missing the first week, but be back here for the season. So I'm sorry you are stuck with me. So did I just completely miss pretty much everybody going across the line now? I think I have. So looking at the chat there, coming across the line, we have got Rika who's going to start on that. So 100% ERS. Right, okay, not quite sure what's going on there, unless he's doing 2 outlaps. Hammer's getting himself, I think, off the racing line for quite a long way back. Everybody seems to be getting off the racing line there. So right, okay, jumping back round. I think I'm going to miss the Ferrari of Pac-Man. He's about to start his final lap. So we've got lots of people on their final laps now, and I want to try and catch as many as I can. So let's jump down. Brother Adams on his outlap. Bog has invalidated on that lap. Who's going to be next? One of the... Is it Hummer going to be next? No, his teammate. Ralph on the outlap. Sorry, I will jump on board with someone in a minute and we can follow it. Right, who is next coming across? I think, is it Hammers or Bog? Both together. Hammer's now on to his final run, 76% ERS. Bog there doing his normal thing and getting out of the way, and someone on the right hand side getting out of the way as well. I'm not sure that was planned, but it was very kind. Gives Hammer's a nice run up to turn number 3, which looks like there is a spun Aston Martin ahead of him, but it looks like that's now got going. So Pac-Man taking pole position. Sorry, Pac-Man, completely missed that. Then we have a Haas. Who's the next Haas? Where's the next Haas? There's a Chef coming across, so he didn't improve on his position. Hummer has given up. Who is next? Ralph. Into P16. Skipper, I think, will be next. And he aborts. We've got our Aston Martin that's moved out of the way. Hammers gives up on his as well. Rika pops it into 7th place with a 105 flat right at the end there. Then got an Alpine. Is that Benny? No, Benny's in the pits. Benny's not in the pits. Benny has just taken pole position with 104.653. I was watching the other Alpine going to the pits. That is a cracking still right at the end. Pac-Man is going to be finished, so he'll be coming in. That is going to be the starting grid for today. So absolutely pinched it at the death there. Benny Bruno with a 104.653. Pac-Man in second with a 104.712. Hummer 0.716. So very, very close. Just having a quick look. We are 1 second covering first to 16th. Basically, and Pav Scully and Double, I know they've got the pace in them to be up there as well, so I pretty much think the whole field is separated by just a second. So I know it's a very short circuit which does shrink the gaps down, but I think we could be on for some good racing today. But yeah, well done to Benny. So pole position. Pac-Man second, Hummer in third, sorry. Bob Spun 4th, Kitchen in 5th, Man Like Donkey 6th, 7th goes to Rika. 8th to Skipper, 9th to Hammers. And I'll read the rest when we get the grid up in a moment. Okay, so Havoc rounding out the top 10. So Havoc Connor in 10th. Then we have in 11th was Tom Putty, 12th. Brother Adam bogged down in 13th, but I do expect him to move forward as long as he doesn't get involved in some early carnage, which you know, tends to happen quite a lot to Bog myself. Well, quite a few of us, to be honest. So hopefully he'll get away with it today. Composite in 14th, Chef JB 15th. Then we have Ralph in 16th, Pav 17th, Scully 18th, Double in 19th. So grid of 19 today. It's not bad, but as I say, looking at that all the way down, covered by a second.
Welcome to Spielberg for another exciting Formula One race. This circuit is renowned for its backdrop, surrounded by natural beauty, and it certainly is an idyllic destination for the Austrian Grand Prix. The Spielberg circuit then is situated 700 metres above sea level, with just 10 corners making up one of the shortest laps of the season. One time around here is a distance of around 2.6 miles, with the best overtaking chances into turn 1 or the tight uphill of turn 3.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Just waiting for the drivers to make their choices, which it looks like they have done now before we set off on the formation lap. Just popping up the calendar there, as you can see, we've had the first 2 rounds already. Mexico on the 6th of November was won by Pac-Man. Then 13th of November last week, we had the Brazilian Grand Prix, which was won by Hammers. This week, obviously, at Austria, winner TBA on that. And then next week, we're off to France, before we then have Britain and Hungary before the Christmas, Britain, Hungary and, sorry, Belgium before the Christmas break. So not long till Christmas. Right, let's pop that down and jump on with the drivers. So a quick look to see what tyres they've got. Again, I don't think I've had any reports yet as to what the weather's going to be, but it certainly looks dry. Okay, right, tyres, let's get them up. So we've got a bit of a mix on there. Top 8 are on mediums, Hammers on softs. So Hammers looking for either a soft hard or potentially a soft medium pending an early safety car. Just get that change out of the way. Havoc on his mediums. Tom looking to go quite a distance on his hards. Brother Adam again having that flexibility. Bog going on the hard, so a split strategy there by the Alfa Romeos. Then we have Composite and Ralph on mediums, Chef, Pav and Double on the hards, and Scully on the soft. So yeah, we've got quite a mix there. Right, let's see what is going on, see if we can get ourselves a decent angle. I know this was one of the best angles that they could get yesterday, so it may well be that we have to jump on board with Benny and look backwards until we can get that camera, which I think will just be as they start going up the hill there. At least we get a nice view of the back of the grid forming. Composite being disqualified, obviously missing his grid position there. Don't worry, he's not disqualified from the race, but will start a metre further back from his starting slot. So here we are, we're going to have to jump on board with Benny. So we're 4, 5 lights. Lights out and away we go, and a good start there by Benny. Pac-Man also looking for a good start up the inside. We can get ourselves a decent camera now. Pac-Man going for the move up the inside, a little bit further back. Looks pretty clean so far. So it looks like we've got through turn 1. Now turn 3, see if we can get through that nice and cleanly as well. Some good overtakes going on in the back, but Pac-Man looking up the inside of Benny Bruno and takes the lead of the Grand Prix. A bit further back, we have Skipper making a move, or having a move made on him. But again, doesn't look like we've had any disasters at the back. So this is good. We are off onto proper bit of racing now. Looking at positions, highest gainer Scully making up 7 positions. That's a cracking start. He must have gone up the inside of turn number 1 or turn number 3. But by the by, you've got to be in the right position, and he obviously was to gain himself up 7 positions there. Okay, so just letting it settle down a bit. Pac-Man taking the lead early on from Benny Bruno. Then we have Hummer, Kitchen, Rika and Bob Spun. So it's a good night so far for the Red Bulls in 5th and 6th. But Hammer's here now, looking at hunting them down, already up 2 places to 7th. Bog holding his own in 13th, but he is on those hard tyres, so it'll take a couple of laps to get any fire in their belly. And considering he's had soft and medium runners behind him, that's pretty good to hold his position at the moment. Field very close together. Oh, we have an absolute carnage here with Kitchen getting involved with, I think was it composite? I was just going to flip back to the lead there, and it looks like Tom might be in trouble there. Oh, we are side by side for the lead. Hummer. Where's Pac-Man? Pac-Man down in luck, so Pac-Man must have got involved. Pac-Man must have made a mistake, I think, which then probably involved Kitchen. Completely missed that. One thing I'm consistently good at is missing the action. So if you want to watch the boring parts, please always tune in. Anyway, so the field has split slightly now. We've got a Hummer into the pits. As I say, after a good start, looks like he might have been involved in it as well with Pac-Man. So yeah, not 100% sure what happened there, but Pac-Man now looking very impatient, trying to get past. And now both driving off of track. That was good of Kitchen to let him pass there, because he didn't have to. He was pushed off track himself. But a little bit more patience, I think, by some people. It can be demoralising. How the hell did Hammers get up into 3rd place? Well, this race has taken a completely different turn from what it did, well, literally a lap and a half ago. So Hammer's now behind the 2 Red Bulls, looking for a move up the inside. Right, he just decides to tuck in just behind there. Let's get rid of these position changes. We can have a bit more screen. Certainly doesn't look like the Red Bulls have got any team orders. Bob spun up the inside there of Rika, and they are side by side heading down into turn number 4. I think Hammers just needs to sit there and pick up pieces. But Bob spun just tucking in behind his teammate there, looking to fight another day. Donkey in 4th, and look a bit further down, we've got Benny dropping down into 5th, so not ideal for him from starting on pole position, but still well within touching distance of the leaders, and I would be surprised if we don't have a safety car at some point during the race. Skipper in 6th, Tom in 7th, brother Adam in 8th, and Bogorowski making his way up to 9th. And Composite rounding out the top 10. Another change for the lead there, the Red Bulls. I'm not sure if they're working together, whether they're in a party or not, but it's would be advisable to use each other just to try and break that gap to Hammers if they can. But it looks like Bob wants to just get on with it. He's got past, and just wants to get on with it, and now that's something that Hammers has got to look at. He doesn't want Bob to break away. Kitchen picking up a 3-second time penalty early on. Only lap number 5, that'll be his third warning. It's very easy to run wide at this track and pick up a warning. Obviously 3 of those will give you a penalty. It can be so costly, especially with a safety car late on. It bunches the field up and can absolutely ruin your race. Seen many a win taken away from a deserved winner because of the speeding in the pit lane or a corner cutting, which at the end of the day you only have yourself to blame for it, but it can be so harsh sometimes. So Hammers now just sitting in the groupie on those Red Bulls. They are pulling away from Benny, so they're extending that gap, but the Red Bulls in front just seem to be quite happy to exchange positions. So far so clean, we've not had an issue, but as that, I thought Hammers just got a better drive there and was up the inside of Bob. So we keep an eye on those at the front, but we'll see what pattern we've got going on a bit further back with Chef. Oh, Chef's into the pits, that's why there was a change there. So what do we have going on a bit further back? Say double looking at the back of Pavlosidor. No, sorry, Pavlosidor looking at the back of Scully. So looking to go up the inside there. Scully going a little bit wide on that turn, but given space there, and Pav up into 12th place. No, sorry, jumping back at the front. I'm fully expecting Bob to go for an overtake as we head up to turn number 3, although Hammers also now looking very fruity up the inside there. Exit Hammers, gives the space, backs out. Does he get a better drive? No. So Bob keeps that position, but Bob actually gets a really good drive out of here and might go for a look at a move up the inside of his teammate. Thinks better of it and just ducks back down, but Benny now has closed up, so we've got a front 4 that are pulling away. Donkey 2.5 seconds further back. He's bringing Skipper with him, but Skipper also with a penalty. I didn't see what that was for. I'm assuming it was 3 seconds. We can have a quick look just so we know. Yeah, 3 seconds. Scully now picking up a penalty as well. And keeping an eye on Pac-Man, obviously wanting to work his way back up through the field. Yeah, Scully into the pits. I'm not sure if he's got damage. Okay, I'm back at the front. Looks like Rika. Like Rika was going to go for a move on Bob Spun, but Hammers just behind, and we've now got Benny Bunot looking at making a move on Hammers, which he does, but Hammers looking at the switchback. So Hammers dropping a position there, so Benny has closed right in and he's showing good pace, moving himself past Hammers now. Be back on the Rika. I think Hammers will be quite happy as he's sitting there saving his ERS. Looks like he's not doing too badly. Certainly has not used anywhere near as the 2 in front. So he will be in a good position a bit later on. So the front 4 are running away there. Then we have a group of 2. Donkey and Skipper. And then we've got sort of about a second gap right between cars all the way back. Pav being chased by Double, and Pac-Man just behind looking to pick up any pieces. Let's see how he does going up into turn number 3. I have no doubt he's going to go for a move because he was thinking about it. I think turn 4 you will see him going up the inside. Right. Small bit of contact there with Double. Not sure there was anything in that other than a bit of contact on tyres, but it ended up okay. So Pac-Man back up into 13th. Let's see who else we are. So Bog making up position there as Brother Adam popping into the pits. Was he on the soft? Yeah, he's on the soft. So he's at about that right time to pit now. So Bog up into 8th with Composite right behind him. Ralph just behind him. So a little bit of a threesome there. Bog only, well, less than a second behind Tom and closing in now, going up towards turn number 3. He pulls that down to within DRS, I believe, for the next straight. So does Bog get DRS? He does, yeah. So Bog on the back of Tom now. So we've got a battle for 7th. We've got a battle for 1st. So 1st to 4th, all very, very close. Then we have a couple of stragglers on their own with Donkey and Skipper, who seem to be losing time to the front 4, should I say. Then we have a small group headed by Tom Putty at the moment, with Bob Composite and Ralph involved in there. Pac-Man now past Pavlosidor up into 11th place, obviously gaining an extra position due to the pit stops. So up into 11th place, 9, nearly 10 seconds behind Ralph. So we'll see how he can be closing that down. So let's bring the tyres up because I've completely forgotten what everybody's on. So Hammers is the most vulnerable here on 10 lap old softs. I think he's either waiting for a safety car or might eke it out enough to pop onto the... Well, we have a caution. Why do we have a caution? We have a safety car. Why do we have a safety car? Why? Kitchen's out, that's why. What happened to kitchen? His car's been cleared. I'm just waiting to see where it would have been. So it'd be into the final turn there. So car cleared away quite quickly, but the safety car still pulled out. But this will probably be music to the ears of Hammers, who can come in and ditch those soft tyres, probably go for a set of mediums. Looks like everybody in front of him is coming in as well. Donkey cutting the pit lane, Putty cutting the pit lane. A lot of pit lane cutting going on there. Jump on with Pac-Man. Is he going to stay out? 10 lap old mediums. I think it'd be sensible to come in, put himself another set of mediums on. Or what did he start on? He would have started on those, yeah. So yeah, jump another set of mediums or maybe go hards. Okay. Scully obviously under a delta there. I don't think much of a delta on this game, I have to admit. I had it at Mexico where but anyway, moving on. Back to the front then. So the leader after the first round of pit stops, but he hasn't come in. He's obviously Tom Putty on those set of hards. Going to look at taking those as far in the race as he possibly can. Then we have Bob Spun in the Red Bull, Benny Buno in 3rd, and Hammers has jumped Rika in the pit stops. I think he was behind in 4th place. Yeah, I think he's jumped him, so good job there. Bog also came in as well, so both Alfa Romeos mirroring themselves. Skipper in 6th, so everybody now has stopped other than Tom at the front. But everybody else, the oldest tyres we have are 5 lap old hards for Chef and 4 lap old mediums for Scully. 2 lap old for Brother Adams, and everybody else on fresh tyres. Okay, so 12 laps completed on to lap 13, so we're officially a third of the way through. 1 DNF so far, which was Kitchen, as I didn't see exactly what happened to him, but by the position of the where Chef made up the position would have been the final corner. So one retirement. Last week, I think we had a grid of 20. I mean, we had 11 finishers, and that was at Brazil. So I'm hoping we get a few more than that today. So we have one straggler at the back, which is Chef JB. Just waiting for him to join up, but so I'm unsure whether the safety car will be in this lap or not. We sometimes get a very late call at Austria, which is never very useful. So safety car will be out for one more lap. Certainly be helping Tom's tyres in front, but he's going to struggle to get heat into them 12-lap-old hards. Certainly the hard tyres behind him are going to warm up a lot quicker, and those mediums of Hammers, he could well be flying for the next few laps. Certainly going to have superior grip and earlier warm-up than those in front of him, and he just needs to make it count, try and get in a rhythm and make a break. Because he's not going to be able to take those tyres 23, 24 laps. Will need to change. Okay, so we'll run quickly through the current race standings. Obviously you can see them on the left, you don't need me gabbing on about it, but I will do anyway. Tom currently in the lead, 13-lap-old hards, then Bob Spun and Benny Bruno behind him. Hammers in 4th, first of the medium runners. Then we have Rika and Skipper in 5th and 6th, and Man Like Donkey in 7th, all on the hard tyres. Then Brother Adam and Bogorovsky 8th and 9th. Ralph rounding out the top 10. So safety car is coming in this lap, so Tom will be bunching the field up, becoming the de facto pace car. I'm going to jump on board with Benny at the restart just to see how we go. Another one I want to keep an eye on is Pac-Man at the back, because I think he's going to be quite... He's certainly going to want to get past Scully Composite Ralph as quick as he can. Bog, I don't think it's going to be quite as easy. So he's certainly got another couple to get past before he hits the more difficult overtakes. But he can still do it, certainly has the pace, needs to recover. So I'm not sure what happened, we're going to find out at the end. Apologies, I missed it on the stream. And we are go. Nobody really caught out Benny, looking for a move up the inside of Bob Spun. And does take the... He doesn't. They're still side by side heading up. And Hammers behind is thinking, yes please, I'll have a piece of this. Could well do. Oh, this could end up brilliant or disaster. Hammers got tapped from behind. Okay, so typical turn 3. I'm afraid obviously Hammers braking for the inside line there. Someone behind going a little bit heavier on the brakes, hitting into him, which then puts him into the car on the left. So another one of those racing incidents really, just a little bit over exuberant after a safety car, perhaps not enough temperature in your tyres or in your brakes. So Hammers on those mediums will be, well, certainly would have had superior grip going up into there. So right, Pac-Man up into 10th, so he's got himself past Scully and Composite. Composite having a poor restart there. Next car up in front for Pac-Man is Bog. So much going on, I want to keep an eye, but we've got Hammers closing in hand over fist on the two in front of him. Tom going wide there, and Hammers saying thank you very much, I'll have 2nd place. And there he goes, so a nice overtake there for Hammers, kind of handed on a plate, but I think he would take it all day long. So we'll keep an eye on him now, who will be hunting down Bob Spun in the lead. Obviously Bob on those hards is going to be slower, but oh, what the hell happened there? Now that to me didn't look friendly. Not 100% sure whether it was just nudged off and coming back on. Right, we'll so it could have been a complete racing incident, that, but it just looked a little bit suspect when I flicked over. But I'm sure something. Oh, Bog, pick up a 3-second time penalty. What are you doing, man? Right, let's jump up to the front. So we've got it all kind of going on up here now. Apologies, just concentrating on what was going down a bit further. But Rika now bringing the Red Bull back up into 3rd place past Skipper. Betty Boudot down in 5th. I think just taking a few laps to settle in after the safety car. Bog still keeping Pac-Man behind him. And there we have Pac-Man going for a move, which probably wasn't on going into that corner, and I'll very much expect him to go for a dive up the inside here. So Bog allows him the space on there and ends up losing the 2 positions, 1 to Hummer as well. So again, one of those overtakes up into turn 3. So if you can get it up the inside and get a decent drive out, then it kind of leaves the car on the outside nowhere to go. But I expect Bog to hang on with them now. Hopefully if he can do that, drag himself forwards. So Rika losing the position again to Benny. I think I missed that whilst I was looking at the Pac-Man overtake, who is closing in. Hand over fist on the back of Tom now. Betty Bonneau getting himself into a rhythm now. Fastest lap. So I think it just always takes him a couple of laps just to get himself back up to temperature. Pac-Man going for a move up the inside. Hummer following him through. Exact replica of what they did pretty much the previous lap to Bogorovsky. So Pac-Man and Hummer hunting as a pair, working their way back towards the front. And Skipper holding on to the back of Rika as well, so not letting him get away from him. Just around about that second. If he can keep himself within DRS, it's really going to help him defend from Pac-Man, who is on a charge on those hard tyres. Hammer's now closing the gap on Bob, spun down to nearly half a second, so he's certainly within DRS range. I think he could look to go for a move on this lap. Needs to do it and break away if possible. He is closing. I don't think he'll do it here. Try and get a good drive off down towards turn number 4, but it is so difficult. You really need a superior drive off of there to make that move stick. So Hammer's all over the back of Bob Spun now, looking to take the lead. Bog and Tom having a nice battle. Bog going round the outside. That's a good move. Also bringing Donkey with him as well. So Tom losing 2 positions there. Bog up into 8th, 2.5 seconds behind Hummer now. So I think he's getting held up by Tom. Tom on those 19 lap old hards is going to be very, very slow, but it is so difficult to overtake here. But Hammer's now tucks into the slipstream, looks to get a good drive off of turn number 1. I think he's got to go for the move up the inside of turn number 3. I think Bob's shown that he gives room after his racing with Rika, so here comes Hammers and makes that move nice and cleanly, and he runs a bit wide and gives the position back to Bob Spun. Oh, Hammers, you've done all the hard work there, mate. Right, next lap, start again. Benny 1.3 behind. Who do we have? Donkey getting past Tom Putty. Are those two battling away again? I suppose Tom must have had the DRS and tucked himself perhaps back past. Brother Adam now going for a move in turn number 4. And Connor coming through as well. So the Astons moving their way up as well. Tom sinking a bit like a stone now. I think he possibly needs to think about ditching those, go on to the mediums. Benny now 1.2 behind, so he is closing in on the front 2. Pac-Man hunting down Skipper as well. I don't think it's going to be long before he's past, and then he'll be looking for the back of Rika. He could end up with a 4-5 or a 6-way battle for the lead here if it all bunches up, because Hammers is going to struggle with his tyres the further into this race that we go, and he'll be praying for a late safety car. So if it happened now, it'll probably be soft, medium, medium. If it happens a bit later, it'll be soft, medium, soft. But he doesn't want to go too far because the gaps aren't that big, and he will drop massively down the field. Right, so Hummer and Pac-Man still on the hunt for Skipper, but the gap is down to 1.8 seconds. So they are on the charge. Bog further 4 seconds down the road. Got Donkey for company, and then behind them they've got themselves just a couple of seconds gap before Havoc in the Aston Martin. And so Tom Putty's still going on those hards. I've got to take my hat off to him. He's dropping like a stone. He was leading not too many laps ago, and now finding himself down in 12th. It's almost, as I say, it's probably at that point where you cut your losses, and I bloody missed it, haven't I, Hammers? And no, they're still fighting away, so I haven't missed it. Yeah, a little bit of contact there, but nothing too onerous. Just a bit of space, and Hammers takes the lead of the Grand Prix, but Benny Below has closed up to nearly half a second behind. So this is going to become a front 3 battle. Pac-Man losing a bit of time to Skipper now, so I'm wondering if he's just might have pushed those hard tyres a little bit hard under the restart. He could be having a bit of an overheating issue. But we'll see. Right, okay, so this is where Bob is going to look for a move, which he does. Hammers defending the inside, but to be honest, he hasn't got much to defend there. He just needs to tuck himself in and keep Benny behind him. Don't lose 2 positions. But I think those mediums are starting to lose it now. We're probably at that crossover point. Yeah, and Hammers losing another position there. So yeah, it certainly looks like he is losing the grip from those now. Quick look double and Chef JB exchanging positions into turn number 1. So Bob has managed to get himself out in front, nearly managed to break that DRS, but not quite. So the 2 behind are going to close up on him there. Tom picking up a 3-second time penalty. Still going on those hards. Here comes Benny, makes the move there. Hammer's just sitting in behind. So Benny retakes it. Man, how many changes for the lead have we had today? My goodness, quite a few. Pac-Man and Hummer battling away up at turn number 3. So Hummer taking the lead briefly, but going wide. Pac-Man then taking the inside line. But all of this fighting is not helping them close the gap in front. In fact, we've gone from about 1.4. Oh, Pav getting a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. But yeah, we've gone from about 1.4 out to 2.2, 2.3 seconds now. So they need to work as a team if they're going to close down the cars in front. And those looking at the move on Bob's Fun. Up the inside there, we'll keep the DRS going up the hill, which isn't a bad thing, so he should be able to outdrag Bob's, but I don't think Bob's got DRS. Oh, that's a good move by Hammers, braking a little bit early. We'll give him the DRS going down here. Oh, Bob did get it as well. Or did Bob get it? How did they both get it? Okay, unless Bob was close enough to Benny, I suppose, that gave it to him originally. But we seem to have the three-way battle for the lead. Benny has now pulled out a second, so managed to just get himself out that DRS zone and just needs to try and keep that going around these last few corners. Hammers on the back of Bob's Bump in second and third, but Hammers needs to make another pit stop. He's not going to get those. Have picked up 3-second penalty. Hammers not going to get those hard, mediums to the end, so he'll be praying for a safety car. Okay, so Hummer pitting for fresh soft. It drops him down into 14th, but he is going to be rapid. Honestly, I'm very impressed by Skipper here. He's keeping on the back of Bob's Bun, and Hammers changing positions there. So again, Hammers up the inside. We keep seeing the positions change, but then change back. It's almost like you make that move up the inside, but you get a better drive around the outside. They take the position back. It's good to see. Lots of overtakes in this division tonight. And all pretty clean from what I've seen. Let's not put the kibosh on that. Benny has bolted 1.8 seconds clear of the two behind now. Hammer's just using the DRS to just keep himself sucked up nice and tight behind Bob's Bun, using hopefully the slingshot up into turn 2. We'll see if this time he can make the move stick. Obviously the lap before is now past, could tuck in left a little bit more, just give himself a decent drive out of there, and that is the position back for Hammers into second place, so he'll be going on pursuit of Benny now. So we're at pretty similar ERS, other than Bob's Fun, who seems to be looking after his very, very well, so he'll have that to use towards the end if he needs to defend or attack. Pac-Man now has closed down Skipper, and Skipper starting to struggle just a little bit on those tyres. He's now sort of slipped about a second and a half back from Rico, whereas he was all over the back of him. Man like Donkey up into 7th as well. Bogorowski, I noticed, has pitted, so dropped down into 14th, but he'll be on the softs for the final run. Pac-Man goes for the move up the inside, and more contact made there. That makes the move up into turn 3. So Pac-Man up into 5th place, current championship leader. Need to make that as many positions as you can, but again a bit of wheel spin there, and Skipper looking for the re-overtake up the inside, but thinks better of it and just ducks out ever so slightly there. So Pac-Man up into 5th, we'll see if he can close down Repat in 4th. So 2.6 seconds that gap is. And there's half a second clear of Bob, but barely, let's say 2 seconds clear now at the front. I think those tyres for Hammer must be screaming now. But he will lose so much time. Where would it actually put him? He could still come out round about in the top 10. But we've got an awful lot to do then. It will be quick as anything. Hammer already up into 8th place after switching to the soft tyres not so long ago. Bob. Bob just sitting now behind. Bit of a late break by Scully there, probably end up losing a couple of positions. I think the cars behind him could well take advantage of that. Perhaps weren't close enough just to do it. Oh, Hammer's picking up a 3-second time penalty. I think it might be time to pit, my friend, for a pair of softs. Put some nice red rimmed tyres on and get yourself out and just have some fun in the last few races. Hammer up into 7th place. So has already halved his pit stop time. Hammer's losing the position there up into turn 3. Bob spun back up into 2nd place. So the 2 hard tyres will look at taking those to the end. Hammer's obviously with that penalty now. Pac-Man's a man on a mission. He's got that gap down from Rika from 2.4 down to 1.6. Be a bit of an ask once he gets past that, obviously with a further 4.5 seconds to close in on Hammers, but I wouldn't put it past Pac-Man to get himself up into 4th. There's still the possibility of a late safety car as well. Tom and Chef having a good little battle for the lower places. Tom getting in front there, obviously doing so many laps. Mind you, Chef's doing alright. 24 laps he's done on those hards. But yeah, it must be a nice feeling for Tom when Hammer's going up the inside. Oh, not quite enough. Tucks in behind, but he's staying in there with them on those tyres. If you could just use them to suck them along, but I hate to think what the tyre degradation is at the moment. But it's probably one of those you don't want to look at because it will make you nervous. But yeah, he's staying in there. Pac-Man 1.5 behind Rika. Skipper dropping back a bit, but Brother Adam and Scully battling a little bit further down. And then Tom and Brother Adam sniffing around just behind on their fresh mediums. Lap 33, so 4 laps to go at the 3 laps to go at the end of this one, should I say, and a little bit wide there by Scully, letting Brother Adam through. So right, let's jump back to the front and see what's happening. So Hammers is still within DRS of Bob Spunner, so those tyres must be crying, and they must be like driving on ice. But Betty Boudinot has pulled out a 3.7 second lead on Bob Spun. And so Hammer's just behind. Rika in 4th. Pac-Man in 5th. Still not making massive inroads into Rika in front. I think perhaps those tyres have now equalised a little bit more. got 1.1 behind, so I think he just dragged himself within the DRS zone and he's got a chance, but 3 laps left to go, so he's not got too long to make that move. Quick look at the chat. Manos Klitzos, good evening, sir. Stunning report for Luca and Bennett. There are possibly some reports that will be going in for this race, but I will not comment on those. I will stay impartial, but there were some moves that were perhaps questionable, and I'm sure if the drivers deem it reportable that they will do, and the stewards will take it, but we'll try and enjoy what racing that we have seen. And Hammers back past Bob Spun. The two battling going into the final sector here. Rika now has Pac-Man almost within that 1 second. I don't think he was quite within the second there to get DRS. He was close enough to get DRS. So Pac-Man is now on the charge, and I expect him to make that move on Rika and get himself up into 4th place. Brother Adam picking up a 3-second penalty late on. Bob Spun. Oh, who's that? Was that Benny? Oh no, it's not. Who was that? Oh, it's Ralph. Oh, I thought Benny Bruno had spun in front of them, but it was Ralph being lapped. But yeah, going to the left. Okay, so we are on the penultimate lap now. Benny, haven't given him much time in the last few laps because he's just up the road and disappeared. 4.8 seconds he's pulled out. Just needs to keep it clean. Bob Spun in second. Hammer's doing so well on those tyres. I think he's taken them about 25 laps. Is it 24 laps? Yeah, so it'll be 25 laps by the end. Same distance as they are taking the hards. Obviously with that 3-second time penalty as well, so the best thing he can do is hang on to Bob. And so he's now got a 5-second buffer back to Rika, who is battling with Pac-Man. And Pac-Man is through. So coming into the final sector on the final lap now, Benny Bruno taking it from pole position. Yep, taking a good pole position, and now taking home the victory. It's a bit of an up and down race for him. He's up near the top, then he was sort of down 7th or 8th, but brings it home. So congratulations to Benny there, picking up his first win of the season. Bob Spun picking up 2nd. Hammers coming home in 3rd. Pac-Man will be 4th. 5th will be Rika. And 6th we're waiting for Skipper. Just want to make sure obviously on the penalty Skipper crosses the line in 6th. Hummer in 7th. Then Man Like Donkey will be next to come across the line, just ahead of Havoc. Composite come home 10th. Bog not having his best day, and like it went his way for the strategy, obviously holding out and putting those softs on. Went against him a bit towards the end. Tom Putty, Brother Adam, Chef JB, then double with no front wing, fighting with his teammate. Only in Formula One. So, so there we have. That was the Austria Grand Prix. So many congratulations, Benny Bruno. Really good, dominant performance from you today. As I say, fastest in qualifying, and in the end, crossing the line first on the final lap, which is what matters. So first win of the season for you. Got to catapult you up into the championship standings. Okay, so our front three enjoying their champagne celebrations there. We get the classifications up now. So obviously pending any reports or penalties further to come, we have Benny Bunot taking the win in the Alpine, then Bob in the my system frozen. Sorry, Bob in second place for Red Bull. Third, Hammers in the Alfa Romeo, keeping his championship hopes alive with, or alive, but helping in his championship. Pac-Man, championship leader in fourth. Then we have Rika, Skipper, Hummer, Man Like Donkey, Havoc, and Composite rounding out the top 10. Bog finished in 11th. 12th was Tom Putty. 13th, Chef. 14th, Brother Adam. 15th, Double. 16th, Scully. 17th, Pavlosidor. 18th, Ralph. And our only DNF of the race going to Dr. Scenic. And fastest lap 106.832 going to Havoc. Connor. Right, well, it was an interesting race. I'd say some very good racing in there. Some incidents I think will probably be looked at, but overall 19 starters, 18 finishers. I think one safety car, maybe two safety cars. I think it was just one. But yeah, some good racing. Hats off to Hammers for taking those mediums for so long. Congratulations to Benny for his first victory of the season. Thoroughly enjoyed it again this week. I'll look forward to next week where I will be back, same time, different place, because we'll be at Paul Ricard in France. But yeah, we start the racing again on Monday with Division 1 at 8 o'clock. Then we have Division 2 on Wednesday at 8. And I'll be back next Thursday at 8 for Division 3. So for myself, thank you ever so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed that. And I will look forward to seeing you next week. So have a good weekend, everybody. Take care.